Hi everybody, welcome to the 31 Days of Tarot. It is day 29 and today's prompt is the tarot deck you get stuck on gives you nothing in a reading right now, but you aren't giving up on it just yet. Yeah, I have a few of those. I would say right now, the one that I'm stuck on the most is not even a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck. And for me, it is the Heart of Fairies Oracle. Yeah, I absolutely love the artwork, which is why I bought it. I was super excited because I'm a huge fan of the Fairies Oracle, which is a brilliant deck. I think if you don't have it, you're missing out. So I went ahead and got the Heart of Fairy thinking it would be a fantastic, like almost like an extension of the Fairies Oracle. And I could use the two together and have just more cards to work with, but unfortunately that was not the case. This deck is kind of its own entity. It has its own purpose. It's structured very differently. Um, so I am really struggling to connect with this deck, although um, I am making some progress. I have used it and have gotten some valuable insight out of it, but it has been a struggle. I really have to, um, like, I can't use this deck in person. I have to kind of study the cards for a while. I have to spend a lot of time with them, really figuring out what they mean and how best to use them. There's a really cheeky fairy. But each card is, I think, what makes this card or this deck very challenging is that it's almost like every single card is a character. It's like having an entire deck of court cards. So you have to try to figure out how these characters and how these personalities can be interpreted to answer questions. And so that, I think, has been um, one of the biggest challenges. I think that's why I have such a hard time connecting with this deck in particular. But as I said, I'm making progress. I don't want to give up on it. The artwork is beautiful. I'm a huge fan of the fairies and I love working with the fairies. I just have to figure out how to work with this deck and how best to use it. So I have a couple other ones. The Heart of Fairies Oracle is pretty new to me, so um, that's why I've been working with it, I guess, because it's kind of still new and shiny, and I'm not ready to give up on it. But I have a couple other tarot decks that I've had for many, many, many years, and again, it's just been a matter of finding the time to get acquainted with them, and um, yeah, I guess with new decks or other decks I've been drawn to, these ones just kind of got put up on a shelf. I love them. I absolutely love them, and I would love to be able to like pick them up and just use them on at a moment's notice, but I'm just not acquainted with them enough to be able to do that. But yeah, I want to. So deck number one is the Shapeshifter Tarot. Um, It is a deck illustrated by Lisa Hunt, and it is based on Celtic mythology. It has a Celtic theme to it. Um, there is a little bit of the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings behind them, but this deck actually has 3 extra cards. So there's a total, oh gosh, the white is really not showing up well. Oh, let me make that better. There we go. Power. So that's the, is that, no. That's the Chariot. So that one would power. That was equivalent to the Chariot. And then the one I just showed you, Courage, that would be Strength. So the Shapeshifter, obviously you see there's a lot of animals. All these human characters are kind of shape-shifting into animals. So that's a theme. There's Transcendence, that would be the Judgment card in a traditional deck. That one would be the Devil. So it's a really beautiful deck, but I'm not comfortable or confident enough yet to use it intuitively. I want to work with it more. I haven't found or haven't experienced a calling that, you know, really motivated me to really learn this deck and use it on a regular basis. But I have it and I do love it. It is one of my favorites. I haven't had that urge or inkling or need, drive, whatever, to be able to use this deck. And in a similar fashion, same thing, this is another Lisa Hunt deck, which I absolutely love, and that is the Animals Divine. So a lot of animals in this deck. All the pip cards certainly are all animals, really unique ones. So again, this one would require me to really learn my animal totems as well as my gods and goddesses. Here we have Venus as the Knight of Cups. So all the court cards and all of the major arcana cards are all deities from various pantheons across the world. So I would have to, in order to be able to use this deck with any kind of competence, I need to get to know my animal totems and brush up on my world mythology. Yeah, so those are my decks that I have that I absolutely love in many ways, but I struggle with them still. Haven't mastered them, haven't even really connected with them in a meaningful way yet. But I'm not giving up on them. I do love all three of those decks, and they're assets to my collection. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up there. Day 29. Yeah, does anyone else feel the same way about any of those decks? Am I alone? Does anyone? I'm curious to know if you have these decks. If you work with them a lot, what do you find? Give me some advice. Does anyone have any advice? You know, like, do you find they're useful for certain things, for certain readings, certain questions? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I will see you tomorrow for day 30.